Vicksburg, second largest town and mining camp, located in Clear Creek, Colorado. Sounds pretty interesting. I think we should go check it out. Please join me on a trip back in time to view some of Colorado's mining history. Vicksburg. A town built and founded off of a few prospectors who happened to lose their pack animals while prospecting in Clear Creek Canyon. Later, they discovered their pack animals have traveled down to Clear Creek for some water. Once they located their pack animals, they also discovered that Clear Creek had an abundance of gold available for panning. This started the huge rush to get Vicksburg built up in Clear Creek Canyon, and also turned it in to the boom town that it once was in its prime, with over 600 residents and multiple buildings, also with multiple trips from stagecoaches
Welcome to the town of Vicksburg. A few prospectors entered this area in 1861. In 1870, Governor John Evans established the La Plata mining district along Clear Creek. Fueled by more discoveries of silver, the miners began prospecting in earnest in about 1879. It appeared that the prospects of good mineral finds interested the miners in beginning to file claims and work their assessments. Silver was the most sought-after mineral, however gold and some lead was also evident. Shipments of ore was made from several mines. Eastern and British Isle investors helped to fuel the enterprises. The miners established a camp and began to put down roots. Vic Keller and Mr. Peck opened a store selling supplies and other necessities for the miners. The town was named for Vic Keller, and incorporation applied for. By 1880, there were some 40 buildings, including 2 saloons, 2 hotels, a boarding house, assay office, livery stable, blacksmith shop, 2 billiard halls, and a 2-story schoolhouse. Most importantly was a cobbler shop. Without proper shoes, little mining could be accomplished. A post office was petitioned for. It is testimony of hard work and perseverance to the miners who accomplished all that you see. The miners had no chainsaws, power tools, or jeeps. The logs for the cabins had to be cut down, skinned and shaped by hand. If you wanted water, you had to carry it. In the beginning, the ore had to be carried in sacks or on the backs of burros. There were no cars. Transportation was horse and wagon and limited to the main road or your own feet. A stagecoach began to run and make a daily trip from Granite to Vicksburg and other settlements beyond. The trip took 2 hours from Granite to Vicksburg. It carried supplies from the ranches below, mail, and passengers. The fare was $1.50 each way. The town was beginning to take shape. Balm of gilla trees that lined the street were brought in by burro and planted. Ditches were dug along the main street to carry water for the residents, and they remain here today. The main street was named Broadway. Some of the residents even planted gardens. The United States Forest Service gave a permit to the society for the use of the Shepherd Cabin as a museum. It is set up as a typical miner's home and contains artifacts portraying a typical miner's cabin in the 1880s. Many early day photos are included. Mining artifacts are displayed also in the yard.
Vicksburg was a true relic of the mining boom in Colorado. It shows you the hard work, dedication, and passion that the old miners had to have to build such an amazing town. the craftsmanship it took to build each and every building, each and every tool, and every piece of equipment needed to get all the equipment up to the mining town, and then to continue to be able to mine and prospect through the rough terrain of 10,000 plus feet of the Rocky Mountains. Even today, with some of the modern age technology and equipment I have, it can still be quite a task, a workload to get your mining equipment into where you would like to mine. And we have so much more technology, machinery, information, and knowledge of our surrounding areas versus what they had over 120 years ago.
In 1971, the Historical Society was formed to protect and preserve the remaining buildings and the history of the area. Two types of memberships are available: sustaining and associate. Nominations are required for sustaining, and anyone can join for $5 annual dues and be an associate member. There were marriages, births, and deaths, also accounts of social activities such as dances, picnic card parties, and so forth that held the community together. A couple of the original mailboxes are visible still today. Across the creek, a cemetery was established. The only burial was that of William Huffman, 1 month old. His grave is still visible. At its peak, Vicksburg was a community of about 600 or 700 in 1885. Vicksburg cannot be considered a ghost town. We don't have any ghosts, only memories, and the cabins have been continuously occupied and lived in ever since their creation. In 1975, a bypass was granted by Chaffee to further protect the town of Vicksburg. You can imagine what a busy, dusty road it would be today without it. The remaining cabins today are all privately owned and some by descendants of the original residents. The fact that these cabins remain and are in good shape are the result of the continuous occupation, the Historical Society, and many friends and volunteers who are interested in helping to preserve a tangible history for future generations. We hope you've enjoyed this peek into the past. We would also like to remind you that memberships or support in any way is appreciated.
I truly can't put into perspective or words on the respect I have for the vintage miners that had to deal with the snow, cold temperatures, rough terrain, diseases, and many other things they encountered while trying to build our wonderful mining towns we have in Colorado.